inflatable arm flailing tube man. His name is MaxPax.
And his opponent in the bottom left, representing everyone's favorite commentator's team.
Yes.
It is Team Rossi, of course, the blue Terran player from Spain. He is another young up-and-comer. It's AqueroN.
You make such a good point, Grant. Another young up-and-comer. One of the reasons that I absolutely love where StarCraft is right now is some of our matches we get to see two grizzled old veterans going at it. Two guys who have been in this scene for 25,000 years. They know every build. They've played every player. They got scars on their faces from previous battles, and it's great to see them. Some of our matches, old guard versus young guys. We get to see this battle of like the up-and-comers fighting for a piece of the pie. Obviously, they're going to be hugely impressed if they win, and if they lose, it's like not the biggest deal in the world. And this is one of those rare opportunities, Grant, where we get to see two young up-and-coming players facing off against each other and really getting a chance to showcase their talent and their potential moving forward. It's hard to say who's favored here. Probably MaxPax a little bit, but both these guys should be ready to put on a hell of a show.
Interesting pylon placement there. Is just going to stop the add-on from going down, which is nice. Forces a little bit more time here. Actually going to force a Reaper out as well. Marine going to chase down this pro. But I agree, Clayton. I love to see these young players coming through. Not just these guys, Skillus. It feels weird to say Raynor at this point because he is, you know, so good, arguably the best player on Earth. But yeah, AqueroN and MaxPax both in their mid-teens, both I believe between 16 and 18, which is just wild to me.
Yeah,
I've got bed sheets older than these guys.
You need some new bed sheets, mate.
Yeah, I know. Both of them doing a great job. This is, you know, for AqueroN, it's his second Premier tournament. For MaxPax, I believe it is his second too.
Yep.
Both of them played 2 online DreamHacks, but they've never really had any opportunities to show what they're made of, and these tournaments give them that to make a good amount of money too. Can you imagine, like, being like 16 and getting $125 for playing 3 games of StarCraft, sometimes 2?
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't have made it to 18 if that was the case.
It's crazy to think about. It's funny you mentioned this is only MaxPax's second DreamHack event, and the reason it's his second DreamHack event, and I believe I'm correct in saying this, is that he was legally not allowed to compete in DreamHack summer this year because he was not yet 16 years old, and 16 is the cutoff for some EU law regarding game competitions or esports or something. So he legally was not allowed to compete in DreamHack. I believe he got, if I recall correctly, he made it through the first couple rounds of the qualifier, and then an admin had to message him and be like, "Hey, aren't you still 15? Sorry, man, you can't play because we like legally we can't allow you to do that." Crazy, it was ridiculous. Right? It was ridiculous.
Crazy. But now both MaxPax 10 and 16, I believe, in like June or July. This summer he played in DreamHack Fall, and now he plays in Winter. So looks to be a mainstay qualifying for these tournaments. And this game going Phoenix, very, very cool. He's keeping them hidden for now as well. This has not been scouted at all by our Terran player, who came in nice and early with that drone scout, but actually kept his Reaper at home or looking for proxies. I do like that because MaxPax is like the trickiest player in the world. You have to constantly be looking for these proxies. There could be a Dark Shrine literally anywhere. There could be a proxy robot. There could really be anything. It is, of course, Phoenix's, and they have managed to catch the Reaper, but it's been seen nice and early. Missile turrets on the way. Marines on the way, and that is a quick +1 before Stim, before any other upgrades coming in here from AqueroN. Maybe looking at timing?
Definitely looking at a timing, Grant.
Definitely 3 racks.
No question. Yeah, we're 3 racks down, and that +1 on the way. No question that he's going to be going for a timing push here, which is a bit of a problem for MaxPax, right? Who's invested very heavily into these Phoenix to start things out. He's still building another Phoenix, which is a bit of a question mark for me. I'm not really sure why he wants another Phoenix out. Normally with this build, you see 5 Phoenix into either Colossus from here to go into Phoenix Colossus, or into just a more basic sort of gateway Immortal build. There are a couple different options you can take here. Honestly, though, with the scouting of he's seen the 2 racks, he's not seen the 3rd racks yet, but honestly, MaxPax should have some alarm bells going off in his head right now. Based on just seeing those 2 racks immediately, he should know, hey, wait a minute, this could be very real pressure. He's going to try and sneak into these Phoenix to get something. Should be able to get to the main base here. I think if he's a little more aggressive, no, going to get chased away. A good defense there from AqueroN. Way to hide his tech, but yeah, MaxPax needs to get some more gateways slapped down right away. Oh my god, he is going for Phoenix Colossus. Grant, Phoenix Colossus is a build that doesn't get up to a scary... It's a good build, but it takes a while to ramp up, and AqueroN's timing is going to hit way before he's really ready.
Yeah, right now what MaxPax needs to do is identify this and get some batteries. Even losing a Phoenix here, very, very scary. We can see Stim already 3/4 of the way done. Our Terran will start moving out probably this second or very shortly. Here he goes.
Wow.
Ish. No, just chasing the Phoenixes for now. No, I was wrong.
It's all right. He'll move out very quickly. You're right.
Yeah. I'm surprised he's not starting to move out now. Maybe a little scared. Wants to get that bunker to leave a few units behind, possibly. We see no third CC or anything like that. Every time the Protoss comes in, he is taking a bit of damage here, but he's getting a lot of information, and he's buying time for Colossus production to begin. And once one Colossus, a few Zealots, Stalkers, or Mortal, he has an opportunity. Of course, he will have no extended thermal lance. That's not started yet. And it'll be important to either have a second Colossus or ETF in any holds. Looks like, yeah, here we go. Our Terran player is going to go. We'll probably leave. Oh, he made the bunker and then salvaged it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't finish. I don't know. That's upset me now. This has, of course, been completely seen. The most important thing right now is that these Phoenixes do as much damage to the reinforcements as they can. Nice control here by our Terran player. Going to catch one Phoenix that had quite a bit of energy as well. And this is it. This is a huge, huge push here from AqueroN. There's so many units. There is no blink. There's only one Colossus. Extended thermal lance is not done. These tanks are going to outrange. Tank's going to siege up. This base hasn't got a chance. And there we go. It does get cancelled. It's now up to AqueroN to close this out. 57 army supply and plus to 40. And he has that upgrade advantage. Tanks need to siege. Phoenix is going to go for it. There's Zealots have no charge. They're going to go down immediately.
This is just a horrible misread from MaxPax, Grant. I don't know what he was thinking here. I mean, it's easy for us to say, and maybe MaxPax is thinking a couple different things than we are without perfect map hacks that we have here. But honestly, MaxPax without map hacks. Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know what he was thinking here. Continuing with his Phoenix Colossus build is so interesting. As we said, extended thermal lance not finished here. Only 2 Colossus out. No charge, no blink, no nothing right now. No upgrades at all. And this +1 push from AqueroN is going to hit like a truck. He tried to build a third base, which just says to me he had no idea the danger he was in. Now, good list from the Phoenix here, making these tanks not able to fire, but as soon as they get dropped down there, huge siege tank fire onto those Colossi, Grant.
Yeah, AqueroN able to take down one of the Colossus with a siege tank fire. They just didn't do enough damage. There wasn't enough damage on the tanks to take them down, and now they're firing upon the Nexus. Extended thermal lance 5 seconds away. He may be able to stabilize here, but we see tanks moving forward. We have everything pulled off the line. Just kidding, probes are going to turn around. Phoenixes will be taken down. The Colossus has no protection anymore. Tanks continue to rain down fire. It does look like maybe, just maybe, MaxPax can hold, and it actually hasn't taken much SCV damage. This Nexus really needs to go down, I think, if you want, if you're an AqueroN fan, if you're a Team Rotti fan, it is going to survive. It does look like maybe AqueroN is going to be pushed back here. It's very close right now, Creighton. I think he needs to target the Nexus. I think he has to go.
Yeah, he really does. This is nice timing, though, from MaxPax to defend against this. Good lifts on the Phoenix again, and the charge slots finally jumping on top of the tanks.
One by one.
Yeah, beautiful splits there. The Colossus finally goes down, though, and that's all 3 Colossus that have been sniped now. And with no Colossus, really the spine of the army from MaxPax is gone. AqueroN, of course, has most of his army supply in the tanks and Marines, and 1 Phoenix is not going to be enough to defend against this last tank coming on. The problem is that AqueroN has been stimming his Marines across the map, so they're arriving at the fight very low on health, which means that 1 Colossus shot with that extended thermal lance is able to take them down immediately. It doesn't take 2 swipes or 3 like it often takes with those, well, I guess the Marines are just +1 weapons, not +1 armor. So anyway, without enough Colossus, with heavily stimmed Marines, AqueroN not able to close the door, but the good news for AqueroN is he didn't go 100% all in there. He's got a third base, he's got the orbital on the way, and his SCV count still much higher than the probe count of MaxPax.
Yeah, and an upgrade, so you can see +1 armor on the way. There's going to be a 2 upgrade lead for our Terran player. He's up in every metric of the game that can be judged right now. He's up in Liberator as well, finding a bit of damage, and he's keeping it alive. I find a lot of Terran players don't don't do a great job of keeping them alive, but look at this army. It's really, really, really crap right now for MaxPax. He just doesn't have any tools. He's trying desperately to transition towards Templar Archives and eventually Storm, but off of 2 base, he can't afford Storm and Colossus. Doesn't have the gas income. There's already Vikings on the way as well here for AqueroN, and I think we're seeing AqueroN right now on his Viking death march across the map, looking to try and close out this game. Actually changes his mind, just going to go for a double drop here. Oh, more than a double drop.
Yeah.
That's 24 Marines loaded into these medevacs. Going to hit the main right now, and all of the army actually heading to the third. This has not been seen, Creighton.
No, not seen at all. The Observer got sniped there earlier, I believe. So this is completely unscouted here. The drop into the main is going to go down, and there's a very real opportunity for AqueroN to get some damage done. Yeah, could snipe the... Oh, no, he's not going to. The recall from MaxPax, pretty good time, but he will get the Cyber Core, and that's going to slow his opponent down a lot. I think the real knock-on effect of this Cyber Core is not necessarily that he won't be able to warp any more Stalkers or Adepts or anything, because of course he does have the Archons on the way. The real problem is going to be that his third base has no shield batteries, Grant. Of course, you gotta have that Cyber Core for those shield batteries. The third base is going to be very, very difficult to defend now, and we see AqueroN getting ready for a move out, a push on that 12 o'clock base. If he can prevent MaxPax's third base from going down yet again, MaxPax is going to find himself in even more dire straits than before. Again, his army supply looks all right. His army composition looks okay, but the long-term health of MaxPax's economy can't be denied. It's not great.
Yeah, you absolutely nailed the shield battery thing there. Great game knowledge.
Ah, I'm so smart.
Disruptors on the way here. For our Protoss player, and I like that the Templar Archives is going to go down here as well, which means no more Archons. The Archon count is currently actively...
Oh, thank God.
There are 2 Archons on the field right now. 3 Archons in total, sorry. Which isn't a bad number. They have managed to get up to an okay amount. But the problem is there's no... Storm, there's not going to be any Storm for the foreseeable future. Army supply 109 to 63. 1-1 upgrades to 0-0. And AqueroN right now is going to move to that third. That third that does not have battery protection. A drop in the main as well. He's got the better upgrades. He can stand here and fight all day. There's nothing right now our Protoss player can do. Tank's going to siege up in the bank, and there's a very hefty number. And I believe for our Protoss player, that is all she wrote. Disruptor goes down. Everything goes down. GG. AqueroN gets map 1.
Yeah, honestly, great play from AqueroN there. Just doing everything right from the initial pressure on through. Again, guys, if you just joined us halfway through, that game started with a 3 racks opener from AqueroN, going for a very strong +1 timing. And it's so interesting to watch these amazing players. Grant, if I'm playing a Terran, or if I'm playing as Terran against a Protoss, and my +1 stim timing off 3 racks doesn't work, I pretty much just type GG and get the hell out of the game. Like if I don't immediately kill my opponent, I'm like, yeah, I'm not. Oops, sorry about that. I'm not good enough to keep this going. I can't do it. These players are so strong. I mean, what a read by AqueroN as well, to see that he was going to get defended with that Phoenix Colossus build and realize, okay, hang on, Colossi will be out. It's going to be a more difficult push than I thought. Let's start a 3rd CC back home. Let's expand off the back of this and just treat this as a contain and a timing, not an all-in. So great decision making there by our boy AqueroN, and MaxPax just falling further and further behind.
Yeah, completely. AqueroN played that game very intelligently. It was very aggressive, and unfortunately for MaxPax, he wasn't able to establish what he was playing against. So he tried to play quite greedy when he was in fact being 3-raxed.
Yep.
He was never able to get upgrades. He was never able to really get anything. His Colossus count was kept to a maximum of 2. Don't think he ever got above that. And then he tried to transition. And it just... AqueroN didn't let him, choked him out of the game with superior everything. But now we move on to map 2. A reset here. Another opportunity for the packs to get things rocking and rolling. With what he wants, and this is actually the first map was MaxPax's choice. So now we're moving to AqueroN's choice, Romanticide, and he'll be looking to close this out, Creighton.
He definitely will. Let's hop into game, Grant. Let me talk to these people back home a little bit about what Romanticide looks like for a Terran player, and why Terran players seem to be latching onto this map and seem to be picking it a little bit more often than the other maps. Again, it's not like a Terran favorite map or anything, but Terran players do feel really comfortable in this map. We'll talk about why after we introduce our first 2 players. Spawning in the bottom right-hand side in the red, representing Team Exxon, and God, I almost said it again, our Danish player, it is MaxPax.
And his opponent in the top left, representing Team Rotti, he is leading this series. The Spanish Terran player in the blue, it's AqueroN.
All right, so Grant, we set this up a little bit before, and we may not have a chance to see why the Terran players often choose this map. It does look like MaxPax is going to be doing his,
his namesake.
Oh, he's got the first pylon back home. So it's a forward gateway here for MaxPax. But let's talk very briefly about why Terran players like this map so much before we see this really aggressive gateway play from MaxPax.
Yeah, so the first thing that comes to mind when you see this map is that the main is very, very large and very wide. Yeah. It has a lot of areas where you can drop and not be caught. It's also very easy to get between the main, the natural, and the third. The third almost always taken in this triangle position here. You can sit on the high ground from the main and hit the natural and the third, depending on where you currently are. It's very easy for a Terran to be more mobile and punish a less mobile Protoss player, unless they have gone Phoenix or something like that. It's also quite difficult to push into with a lot of zealots and things like that. Tanks get a lot of surface area to defend almost everywhere. Oh, SCV going down, that's a mistake.
Wow.
A tank sitting in the on the sort of main ramp between the natural and the third, as we're looking at right now from the other side, can cover a very wide area and stop any real pushes coming up. It's difficult for a Protoss player to push up without coming from the predictable angle of either the very south 6 o'clock or 12 o'clock position. It is still a good map for Protoss. There is certainly things you can do. Prisms also very good. Any drop play generally. But as for now, we can see here that AqueroN knows what's going on. He did go in and scout, and I mean, he knows who he's playing against, so he's going to get a bunker here on the high ground. First units being made offensively. There is quite a few here, very much the MaxPax build coming in right now.
Yeah, interesting choices here from AqueroN, who's read this very, very smartly, despite having almost no information. What a great read from... I mean, take a look at AqueroN's vision. I've been trying to show you while you've been talking about the map a little bit. AqueroN has not spotted the forward gateway. He's not seen the second base here at the third location yet. The Reaper won't even see it as he goes in here, so still doesn't see that second nexus. Oh god, this Reaper's gonna have a field day in the main base. But hasn't seen the Zealots, but somehow knew. He got in and was like, okay, hang on. Pylon's missing, no gateway there. Clearly you're going to try and get some forward pressure with those Zealots. Obviously that's the case, and reads this just absolutely beautifully, going for Factory on the high ground, for Cyclones out with Magfield Accelerator, even cranking out a Widow Mine first for a little bit of surface area, and the bunker, just playing so safe. This Reaper will eventually, I was going to say get taken down here, but there are two Reapers now, getting a couple probe kills, draining the shield battery energy. The Stalker will chase him away here, but again, AqueroN with great sense of what's going on in this game. He's going to get out of here with both Reapers, I think. Yeah, wow, both Reapers get out, and he's going to go back for the probe kill. What a champion. Look at that. MaxPax losing five probes, Grant. Hokey smokes, that's a lot.
Yeah, no, MaxPax still does have a good probe count, has been chronoing them a lot. But I like Magfield Accelerator here coming from our Terran. It's not something that I expect AqueroN to do either. I think this is a surprising upgrade coming out of him. I'm not sure if it's purely reactionary or it is something that he's been playing with here. Going for Metro for this. We do have a very quick third CC as well.
No.
And lots of Cyclones coming out.
Not a third CC, Grant.
This is natural, of course.
Second CC, yeah. Still.
Very late second CC.
There you go.
I'm going to go for the burrow here. We'll get it. Goodbye, Zealot. And actually, it does look like a pretty... with these Reapers coming back as well, a nice sort of clean up here for AqueroN. Going to be able to take down a lot of MaxPax's army. But MaxPax does have that base fully established. It wasn't identified for a long time here. And Oracle on the way as well. Potential for a lot of damage. Although Magfield Accelerator, Cyclone's the best answer there can be to the Oracle.
And that's, of course, why we see only one Oracle out. I'm honestly, again, a little surprised to see that Phoenix coming out as well. Phoenix can be very useful with lifts and stuff later, but with I guess he hasn't seen the Magfield Accelerator. He hasn't seen it because I think it just finished up just as last unit died. So he doesn't know how heavily AqueroN is committing to this Cyclone build. And, of course, he hasn't seen anything else in the main base, doesn't know about the starport or the third command center yet. So interesting that we're seeing another Phoenix coming out from MaxPax, but I think he's going to stop with his Stargate pressure there, and we can see him, immediately transitioning here. Twilight Council going down, extra gateways going down, and Grant, I'm pretty sure that MaxPax is going to go for just some pretty standard gateway play from here with no Robo. It doesn't look like it's going to be a quick glaive to depth follow-up, no Warp Prism to push any charge lots across the map. Blink Stalker might even be a little bit delayed.
Yep.
Grant, what do you see as far as MaxPax's continuing strategy? Wow, again, pressing out one more Phoenix is a little surprising.
Yeah, I think we'll see Blink start off pretty quickly here. I think he's going to try... Oh, okay, it's going to be a quicker charge. MaxPax always doing what we don't expect here. So we're going to have a lot of charge zealots, a lot of Phoenixes, playing almost as if he was playing against a Zerg player here. We do have a big push coming in right now from AqueroN, and of course, Magfield Accelerators does do enough damage here to out-DPS the battery. Cyclone number 1 will go down, but he's doing a lot of damage right now. AqueroN has so many units. And if these Cyclones can lock onto Phoenixes, there is enough to take them down. Super Battery coming in, but that's going to be targeted down. Probes forced off the line. Probes can't fight this.
No, Probes can't fight this. There's all plenty of Marines left over here. And this is the real problem with this build from AqueroN, is that MaxPax is forced to lift up the Cyclones, right? Which means the Marine count is going to stay very healthy. Now, luckily, a couple Stalker Warpins should be able to clean most of this off. I'm honestly a little surprised to see AqueroN still pushing across the map here. The Phoenix is out of lifts, though, and there's nothing on the ground for MaxPax. This is incredible from AqueroN. A very, very dangerous build. Marines and Cyclones out here forcing some Stalkers to warp in, but the Stalker's going to go down right away, and this probe count not going to be very healthy. Luckily, a third Phoenix does pop out, and the tank is going to be forced to retreat from AqueroN. Again, a little surprised to see AqueroN pushing so deeply into MaxPax with the warp-ins available and with those Phoenix popping out. He knew the lifts were there as well, but that still puts AqueroN in a great position, picking off a few more probes here. 14 probes have gone down this game.
Yeah, AqueroN's done a great job. Now, with mules and stuff, if you take a look at the income, we can see he's mining a little bit more in terms of minerals and gas. So AqueroN will be pulling ahead despite having one less worker here. But his army as well is pretty good. He stopped making Cyclones. I'm kind of surprised by that. He's going to go fully into bio for the back of this. So Magfield into bio, I don't hate it by any means. He was very worried about a follow-up all-in.
Yeah.
This is a scary push coming in right now, actually, by our Protoss player. Phoenixes are pretty good. The number kind of high, and of course this missile turret will not complete. Tank on the high ground does need to siege up. It will be lifted here. We have a lot of bio though standing within the SCVs. SCVs will be pulled to fight. Phoenixes are going to start to be targeted down here, and they will start to fall. I think maybe, just maybe, our Protoss could have overextended here, but there's no Cyclones out, a Viking coming out, and that will be able to push back the rest of this. There's still a good bio count, but Stim only just started off here. 4 SCVs going down. MaxPax finding the counter damage that I think he needed to find, because he's at 3 Nexus behind us.
Yeah, what a scrappy game here from both players. AqueroN overcommitting to his attack a little bit. MaxPax still sticking around. I'm not sure how I feel about this little soft contain from MaxPax for a while. The Marine count, as you said, getting much, much better as now the 5 racks have finished up, and there's a big power spike coming in from AqueroN right now as all 4 racks are now under are now producing at the same time. So I think MaxPax should definitely respect that those have finished up. He's seen them, of course, in the main base. He's seen that stim on the way. And MaxPax is going to realize up against 5 barracks, he's got no chance of keeping this down. AqueroN barely saving himself in the nick of time. If he would have waited a little bit longer to build 4 racks at the same time to go up to 5 racks, he'd be in some real trouble right now. As it is, I think he's going to be able to defend. And again, a little surprised to see MaxPax continuing to push in, continuing this pressure. He's got an economic advantage, right? He's I was going to say ahead in income, but this is just due to AqueroN's mules. But MaxPax with the earlier third base down, that way earlier natural down, very surprised to see him continuing this push.
Yeah, me too. Stim not done yet, meaning that this is a very difficult hold. He does have a tank able to offer the splash, but it's going to be lifted. There's enough, there's plenty of bio here. Actually, this was an overextension for sure by MaxPax.
Yeah.
16 plus Marines were able to stand there. It looks closer to 24, able to stand and fight, and they did a great job there. So this has now forced MaxPax back. And look at the supply all of a sudden. As that production is kicked in, as you pointed out, AqueroN has exploded. It's 51 to 24 army supply. And there's +1. We have 16 Marines right now heading across the map. Phoenixes know that they're out and about somewhere, but they're way further over than expected. This mineral line is completely open. Oh, we're about to see a whole bunch of dead probes, Creighton.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried here for MaxPax. Oh, he doesn't even see it coming. He's microing his Phoenix in the natural right now of AqueroN. He's going to be forced to recall those Phoenix up. Of course, the drop can just get the hell out of there. Going straight up into the main here with the drop on the top of the cap. All these Zealots on the bottom side are not going to do anything. Even though the medevacs get taken down here, a lot of this, the Marines are still going to get unloaded here. And 10 Marines in your base ain't no thing. This is terrible here for MaxPax. Finally, Zealots getting back, but a couple more focus fire on the probes here. And MaxPax's economy is going to get ravaged, Grant. Despite having an earlier natural, despite having the third base down in time, MaxPax just not looking like the professional, fantastic, young, exciting up-and-comer that we were hoping for. AqueroN is really landing some big punches this game.
I've got to say, it looks like AqueroN's been doing his homework, and as a young lad, I'm happy that he is, because I never did it. He's really been on top of this series from beginning to end so far. That 3 wrecks in game 1, I do think he's been studying his opponent, because he's not been playing TVP. He's been playing AqueroN versus MaxPax.
Yeah.
And it's worked out. He's playing some very, very nice StarCraft here. I'm really glad to see him doing so, but he has to be able to close. Sure, he's up 35 supply right now and an upgrade, but the upgrade advantage is about to slip away as I speak. And although his army is very strong, it is still difficult to push into a Protoss player here on Romanticide. The Phoenix count it's taken down a lot. Actually, there's only 4 left and no more in production. So Phoenix Colossus, not a big risk at this point. We do have that high rise supply depot being dropped. We saw that, AqueroN.
Yeah, we did.
You naughty macro boy.
We did.
No gruel for you. Rotti will not be feeding you tonight. But AqueroN is still in a commanding position. He just needs to close. I think once the tank count gets up to 5, maybe 6, he will move out here. He's producing 9 Marines at a time as well. He has his 4th command center. I'd like to see maybe another missile turret go down. I know it's... okay, he's already out on the map. Cool. Yeah, this is a push. I just don't understand. There's no AoE tech whatsoever. There's 3 Archons. The army right now, 18 Zealots is good. They do have 1-1, and it is an armor upgrade as well. That very much benefits them. But the tanks, 4 tanks, do a lot of damage. Plus this many Marines with 1-1. This base will be cancelled. 1 Zealot will immediately run into his death.
Oof.
The scan goes up, and it does look like AqueroN's feeling confident. He's going to take the fight, Creighton.
Yeah, he is. His tank's a little bit slow to siege up here, but that does mean that his Marines can get back to safety, hopefully dodging some of the friendly fire from the tanks here. Phoenix are going to jump in, but they're a little bit late. The lifts on the tanks a little bit later than you'd expect. The bio army's still around. MaxPax down at 29 army supply. It's just a handful of Archons right now. The tank's not even able to be picked off, and this looks like the death knell for MaxPax as AqueroN moves his way forward into this 3rd base, and MaxPax is forced to GG out. What a